This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. 2 senior officers of the Philippine National Police were administratively relieved from their posts amid allegations of wrongdoings of their men during a raid on a suspected Philippine offshore gaming operator hub in Manila last week. But PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Jean Fajardo was quick to clarify that the relief of Major General Sidney Hernia as Metro Manila top cop and Major General Ronnie Francis Caraga as head of the anti-cybercrime group is not a punishment but more of ensuring that the conduct of investigation on the allegations raised against them is impartial. Fajardo said the relief order was only for 10 days. They were administratively relieved for 10 days to give way to the investigation that will be conducted by a committee. Let me reiterate though that this is not a form of punishment, said Fajardo. The investigation stemmed from the complaints, and later filing of charges, of the management of the Century Peak Tower in connection with the Pogo raid on the 29th of October. The subject of the search warrant was the Vertex Technology located on the 23rd floor, but there were claims that the policemen proceeded to other floors, and there were wrongdoings committed. There were again operational related issues that were raised by the subject of the police operation, particularly the alleged tampering of the CCTV camera by PNP personnel, said Fajardo. But Fajardo said there was nothing irregular in the conduct of the operation. The police operation was conducted under the premise of an implementation of a cyber warrant duly issued by Regional Trial Court Manila that the operation was legitimate as it was covered by a search warrant. While the PNP insisted that the operation was legitimate, National Police Chief General Rommel Francisco Marbel decided to create an investigation committee to clear things up on the allegations raised by the raiding teams. Fajardo also dismissed speculations that an influential person was responsible for the relief of Hernia and Caraga. For the record, the PNP will not succumb to any pressure, and PNP leadership decided to administratively relieve the 2 senior officers again to give way to an impartial investigation, said Fajardo. We owe it to the people because a lot of accusations and allegations were propagated in different fora, so the PNP leadership deemed it necessary to subject them, Hernia and Caraga, under administrative relief to give way to the investigation, she added. Suspended Cebu City Administrator and lawyer Colin Rosal was arrested inside the office of the mayor at Cebu City Hall on Friday, November 8, 2024, following his unauthorized entry into the premises. Police Colonel Antonito Canete, director of the Cebu City Police Office, said that Rosal was arrested on usurpation of authority for allegedly attempting to assume powers reserved for City Administrator Christine Batucan without legal authority. Along with the usurpation charge, Rosal also faces charges of resistance and disobedience to a person in authority. According to the detention certificate, criminal cases against Rosal are set to be filed with the Cebu City Prosecutor's Office on November 11, 2024. Canete reported that Rosal was taken into custody around 6 p.m. and is currently detained at Waterfront Police Station 3. If a judge or competent court issues a release order, Rosal may be released. In an interview with Rosal at the police station, he claimed his arrest was illegal. He argued he was merely seated and performing his duties as city administrator when police apprehended him without a warrant. Warrantless arrest should really mean that you have committed a crime. Then it is impossible that I have committed a crime because I have made it clear to the media that the basis is clear. And even if you conclude that the basis is wrong anyway, then you are the one who said it is wrong. Therefore, it is illegal per se, Rosal said. Moreover, lawyer Michael Rama, one of Rosal's legal counsels present at the police station, said he was shocked by Rosal's arrest for usurpation of authority, asserting that such cases are complex and require probable cause. Rama argued that cases of usurpation should require a warrant, as they differ from crimes like robbery or murder where fault may be immediately evident. I don't understand that the usurpation is a warrantless arrest when the usurpation is in flagranti delicto, so there are questions of facts and law. Will the police have probable cause to look at the person in the office? Will they be able to determine usurpation? Not even robbery or theft. There are many other things that need to be determined. That's why it's amazing, Rama said. Rosal was among 7 city employees, including dismissed Mayor Michael Rama, who was ordered on preventive suspension due to grave misconduct and conduct unbecoming of a public officer, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest among others. Old grudge sparked the murder of an ex-barangay captain in Tigboan town, Iloilo province, police said. The Tigboan Municipal Police Station has filed murder charges against John Castro Jr., who confessed to killing former barangay captain Giovanni Triste of Barangay San Rafael on the 24th of October. Based on investigation conducted, the very motive of the suspect in killing the victim is old grudge and it is very personal, said Police Staff Sergeant Glenn Markabayan Tigboan, MPS investigator. In a report submitted to the Iloilo Police Provincial Office, the grudge allegedly dates back to the 20th of February 19 when Trieste, who was then the barangay captain, led authorities to search the house of Castro. Castro bumped into the victim on his birthday on the 24th of October. Witnesses heard Castro say to Trieste, "You caused such a huge inconvenience to me." Moments later, shots were heard. It can be gleaned from the facts and circumstances that the motive of killing the victim was a personal grudge and not election related, police said. This case is considered cleared, police said. Police said Castro was previously arrested for possession of illegal firearms and other complaints but were settled. Castro surrendered and his case is now at the Iloilo Provincial Prosecutor's Office. Mayor Samuel Guimarin and several officials of Buena Vista Town, Guimaras Province are facing administrative complaints before the Office of the Ombudsman for purchasing a 2.6 million peso water tanker. Complaints of grave abuse of authority, grave misconduct, and conduct prejudicial to the best interest in the service were lodged against Vice Mayor Cyril Beltran as well as Sangguniang Bayan members Arthur Cartel Jr., Edgar Gallo, Ruben Magno, Valentine Talabaro, and Rex Fernandez, and ex officio barangay captain Rommel Infante. In his complaint, SB member Vincent Pascal Durazes claimed that an SB resolution approved last the 28th of June, 2024 authorized Guimarin to enter into a negotiated procurement for the second-hand water tanker. For Durazes, the purchase of the second-hand water tanker by the Buena Vista local government unit under Guimarin is an unnecessary use of calamity fund. The water tanker, which arrived last August, was also deemed late for the LGU's response to the El Nino climate phenomenon as it was over last the 20th of June 24. Durazes noted that the Buena Vista LGU also has a standby tanker that was already in place during the time of former Mayor Eugene Reyes. A Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency vehicle and its motorcycle escort were apprehended yesterday by the Department of Transportation for using the exclusive EDSA bus lane in Santalan, Quezon City. The PDEA driver, who said they were conducting an operation, failed to present a valid registration for the vehicle. He was allegedly carrying a fake driver's license, according to the DOTR's Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation. PDEA Public Information Office Chief Laurifil Gabales told the Star that the involved agent would face administrative cases. The agency will not condone such action. An internal investigation is underway. Administrative sanctions will be imposed on the violator, Gabales said. A 50-year-old chief of Barangay Tanad was shot dead in Sitio Tabura, Barangay del Rosario, here, on Tuesday morning. Police identified the victim as Isidro M. Giro. Investigation said the victim was on his way home from his farm when a man appeared and shot him several times. Giro died on the spot. The suspect fled and police are conducting manhunt and follow-up operations. Police said the victim was previously arrested for frustrated murder. 4 officials of the Office of the Vice President under Sara Duterte have been cited in contempt by a panel of the House of Representatives for again failing to personally appear at a hearing on the questionable disbursement of her intelligence and confidential funds. Representative Joel Chua, chairman of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, approved at yesterday's hearing the motion of Antipolo Representative Romeo Acup to cite the OVP officials in contempt. The OVP officials, all trusted aides of Duterte, were ordered detained for repeatedly defying summonses to attend an inquiry into the alleged mishandling of government funds, specifically confidential and intelligence funds, by Duterte. The officials are Assistant Chief of Staff Lemuel Ortonio, Special Disbursement Officer Gina Acosta, and spouses Edward and Sunshine Chari Fajada, SDO and Assistant Secretary of the Department of Education when Duterte was still Education Secretary. Lawyer Zuleika Lopez, Duterte's Chief of Staff, was spared from the contempt charges after she informed lawmakers, in a letter, that she is in Los Angeles caring for her sick aunt. Lawmakers expressed doubt on Lopez's excuse and reissued another subpoena. Minority Leader Marcelino Libanon advised Lopez to grab the opportunity to defend herself and appear before the congressional hearings at the soonest time possible. As the Chua Committee continues to investigate alleged misuse of public funds of the OVP normally, individuals who are blameless, when asked to explain, would seize the first available occasion to clear themselves of any wrongdoing. Lebanon, who represents the party list 4Ps, said in a statement. Akub, a retired police general who is also a lawyer by profession, moved to detain the officials at the House premises until the inquiry concludes and a committee report is submitted for plenary approval. 4 other OVP officials attended yesterday's hearing: Administrative and Financial Services Director Rosalyn Sanchez, Chief Accountant Julieta Villadelri, Budget Division Chief Edelyn Rabago and Chief Administrative Officer Kelvin Garam Tinado. Santa Rosa City Representative Dan Fernandez questioned Lopez's explanation, calling it a clear evasion and sought validation of her excuse to skip the hearing. The testimony of Ms. Zuleika Lopez is crucial. If we allow her excuse, other resource persons might follow. They can run, but they cannot hide anymore, he said. Deputy Speaker David Suarez said he was willing to extend a little bit more understanding and accepted Lopez's excuse as stated in her letter, but only until our next hearing. The excuses the other OVP officials gave were unacceptable, he said. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.